Here we go. I mean, he normally kind of tweets it, but you know. You've probably already noticed my striking resemblance to Fabrizio Romano. Spooky, right? Just kidding. I look like everybody. I'm like the create a character before you actually make any changes. But that's just something fun about me. Today, we are diving into the next FM20 feature they've started to talk about, which is a revamped deadline day. I want to say right now, I'm very skeptical that this is actually going to be a great change, but they have devoted like half of a headline features video to it. But come on, I always take part in deadline day, but it's never this big dramatic thing. Not never. Every once in a while, I have like one player negotiation going on. But the way that I think is the best way to handle your transfer business, deadline day becomes less important. And so whatever they're adding to it has a chance to just become more annoying. We will see, but I am worried that this will be the first feature review where we're sitting there going... But on the upside, they actually did bring in Fabrizio Romano to talk for like 3 minutes about how special deadline day is. Now, most of that was just kind of him talking about actual deadline day, but he did say he's actually excited to play these changes.
Way and Football Manager in the same moment will be the best moment of my year, and will be amazing to try this new feature, to have.
Football Manager is going to be the best moment of his year, and this dude gets to be, he's like the king of Twitter, and the best moment's going to be Football Manager. So maybe I should be more optimistic about what these changes are going to be. I mean, I've liked all the features that we've watched so far, which if you haven't seen those, playlist FM22 features, check them out.
Transfer market with such a new update for the game, and trying to spend a lot of time also on deadline day to have the right strategies, the right opportunities to plan for my ideas. So I really love this feature, and I'm already planning for my signings. I have all my names on one note on my phone to have everything ready when the game will be out to start playing.
One of us. One of us. One of us. Okay, anyways, he has all of his signings he's going to make on FM22 on a notepad on his phone. That's about as nerdy as you can get on FM22. Mad respect, dude. But he said he really liked it. He said he really liked the new features. He's already been planning his signings. I'm assuming they've been described to him before he said this. That, or he's just a great salesman. I suppose we're going to figure it out.
So we've spoken to Mr. Transfer himself, Fabrizio Romano, Tom Bray, the senior UI UX designer.
I didn't know Tom Brady worked at SI. Go Bucks, by the way.
So going into that deadline day coverage, and again, I think it seems like a theme that I'm realizing that I didn't realize as much as before chatting to you all, is that you want it to kind of feel like real life, feel being the important word.
Yeah.
And so tell people about it. I've been able to experience it myself and have a look at it, and it is...
James is already playing the game. James is already playing the game. How is it, James?
From my point of view, it does feel like it's something that you're not kind of working along your Football Manager save. You get to this day and then you dive into it.
Yeah.
Is that what you're kind of getting?
I get the idea that this is what SI and like Football Manager, the people that make it, have been trying to do for years. Deadline day becomes a more notable thing that you actively look forward to, that you actively like experience, and then you dive into it with the whole take part thing and the ticker at the top. They've added like a little bit more to it each year. I hope if they're going to make this like a special thing, they need to add a lot more to it this year. But I mean, I'm assuming there's this whole Fabrizio Romano thing, and now we're like a third of the way through the actual deadline day thing, and I know zero new things that are happening with the deadline day feature. This is more like a normal Football Manager feature announcement, and why I was so surprised that there was so much great information in the first couple of feature announcements, because it's normally like 80% frosting, 20% cupcake. Ow. Dang it, mic stand. Do you work for SI?
Across, and what can people expect from deadline day?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of things that we want to introduce. Basically, is that before you get to deadline day, there's always talk, you know, about rumours, who's doing what, who's going where. So we did a few kind of like some build-up bits that lead up to it. So you know, like a week before, and then obviously the day before, and also the press conference questions that we build into it. We're trying to bring some like kind of personal touches to it that allow the user to tell the press what they're looking for. And then when you enter it...
Sounds cool. will definitely be annoying if there aren't other features, right? If you just get more messages like, well, we're gonna do this on deadline day. What's the press conference is now longer because before every deadline day, we're making up some random rumor about you wanted to sign somebody or this team's interested in your player. Like, it could just be more annoying if deadline day is the same.
We wanted you to feel kind of like you've got all your club colors there as your main interface. But as soon as I go into deadline day, boom, I've got the kind of the familiarity of the gold and black, and everything goes into that mode. So there's that, and there's all, countdown timers, processing bar telling you, you've got 7 hours left, just to give you that familiarity and add that pressure to it,
It's a small touch, but the fact that the whole UI changes on deadline day, I feel like actually does a very good job of pulling you in. Let's go look at a couple of these screenshots. One, you have a section for listed players. This is incredibly helpful because I usually have to go to my squad and then change the view and then sort by who I have transfer or loan listed just so I can see them and offer them out again on deadline day, which is usually the only thing I'm doing there. We also have contracts expiring. I think that's wonderful. I have no idea. I don't think we click on that at any point. I've got no idea if that's actually telling us who our contracts expiring, their contracts expiring, and by they I mean the world. I don't know.
But as soon as I go into deadline day, boom, I've got the kind of the familiar.
Okay, so you click into that deadline day portion out of the message in your inbox to go to the deadline day. You get your stories, you get your live transfers, your social media reaction. There's a fan poll in the bottom right corner. It is possible for these things to be cool and create more immersion. It is more likely that they will be easily ignorable based off the other social media efforts that FM has made in the past. You can search by league to see who else is spending big money. I feel like what this screen is definitely going to help you do is keep track of other big moves. And part of the immersion that FM misses is you sometimes hear about big transfers that aren't at your club, but this is going to help you stay on top of more oh shoot, United just signed this guy. Oh shoot, City just signed this guy. I'm in trouble. I need to go sign someone. That kind of real life transfer deadline day pressure. Ooh, there's an attracting interest section. I like that. Can this be in the transfer area all the time so you can just see the players that are wanted? I love that. I feel like that's actually it's useful, and you can conclude your transfer business and just hang up the phone for the day and go home and leave deadline day, which I guess is also nice if you want to skip it. And that button alone, now all of a sudden I'm sitting here okay. I feel like, there's only so much you could do with deadline day because it is what you make of it. You're playing along in the game. How much are you going to use deadline day when you actually are going out to try and sign people, right? But you can skip it. And they have gone out and made it a lot better. They haven't just said, well, now it's, now you have a live ticker across the top of the screen. It's not that. Oh, the agent offers section. Oh, I love that. I've often said that the transfers need to be sorted out in a different, I need to know if the agent called me, if one of my players said this guy, if one of my scouts was this guy. The agent offers is at least the beginning of that, showing agents saying, hey, take a look at this player, so I can then ignore them. So contracts expiring is our team, and that's just a good way, especially if you haven't played a ton of FM, to keep you abreast of who might be leaving for free if you don't do anything.
So there's that, and there's all countdown timers.
What else?
Bar telling you guys.
Oh, when you hit continue, there's a live transfer ticker at the bottom. That's actually really smart. That's really smart. And the poll in the bottom right is changing. They really did think of a lot of things here. This is better than I expected it to be. I had very low expectations for this feature in particular, but this is better than I expected it to be.
How did you go about creating something that people can kind of take in and understand, but still giving you that little element of chaos?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, with doing what we roll, it's kind of reworking it. I mean, our job is to kind of give a user experience, so make sure that we're giving you the right content at the right moment, and then obviously giving you that kind of level of doubt maybe, but at the same time, you've got to cause chaos in this. You've got to go, so you were signing a left back the other day, what about this left back? So the agent offer comes in and says, my client's looking for a move, thinks your club's the brilliant one.
Okay, here's a look at the agent offers screen. We get a basic recommendation, I'm assuming from a member of your director of football, probably. You can probably change that in staff responsibilities. So if you make an offer for a left back, and all of a sudden you're gonna get agent offers for left backs, that's a more intelligent functioning transfer window. And it's different agents. Maximilian Schneider, continental agent. Now, Timo Heinze is only a regional agent. Couldn't be me. And I think in an ode to how they're trying to make it less dependent on ratings and stars, especially when you're scouting, they literally only show you the recommendation. They don't show you star ratings or key attributes, even though I feel like that would be nice. If you would say, like, for a center back, here are the 5 key attributes for a center back, boom, and you can see them like on the screen, I would pay good money for that to exist.
You're going, oh, okay, I've got to move to this player now. So there's an element of that. We're kind of just dangling carrots, basically, to say, you know, you haven't thought about this player, why don't you? And it goes for the transfer news as well. You know, if agents aren't offering you players, you're going to read about what's going on, like we do in the media, and see that, I don't know, let's say a player's linked to another club, and you're going, I quite like that. I didn't realise they were up for sale or whatever. So it's just kind of making the user think that there's more out there than they think there is. And that kind of surprise element is what we want, is that, you know, people thinking that deadline day has made a real change to kind of their saves because they've done something slightly different and out of the normal, basically.
All right, that's it for the deadline day features section. What do I think of it as a whole? The last thing you just talked about was actually really great. I think one of the best things Football Manager has is the element of realism when it comes to making these types of decisions. I had, in a rare, this is normal, but I had a deadline day, you know, battle to get a Wonder Kid on my stream, which if you want to watch the streams, links down in the description. It's on Twitch, and there's a live channel where you can watch edited down episodes. Maybe you just don't like Twitch or you miss a few streams, you can go to the live channel. It's down there as well. But we had a battle for a Wonder Kid, and I feel like when those people pop up and all of a sudden you look at them and you make that noise, everybody makes the same noise. It's like, ooh, ooh, you know, that, ooh. This guy is somebody that we should sign. I like the fact that they're aware of that, and they try and put you in a position where so many different people are coming at you, and maybe you didn't think about this guy, maybe you didn't think about this guy, that you'll have that moment where you go, ooh, we weren't going to do anything on deadline day, but now, right? These are bigger changes. They've hyped up deadline day before. Oh, look, there's like a countdown at the top of the right, but they continue to do a pretty good, I mean, right, you guys talk about it in the description. I know there's always a bunch of people that are like, they're doing nothing, the game is trash. That's also not true, but you could think these are cooler than not. I had obviously set very low expectations for this, so I think adding those different sections, changing, it sounds stupid maybe to many people. I think changing the color does a lot to take you out of the everyday FM stuff and put you into deadline day mode. When you hit continue, you see the transfers. It makes you stay aware of all the different parts of deadline day, from the agent offers to your own contracts expiring. You can easily access your listed players, the social media stuff, and the extra questions. I'm sure it's going to get annoying after a while, but I play the game an unhealthy amount of time. As for the quality of these changes, I was expecting to go with a D, maybe an F. So the fact that I'm giving the transfer deadline day changes a B-, I feel like is great. Now, it's very hard to make transfer deadline day a main headline feature, especially when you devote half of a features video to it. But I'm going to give it a B-. I don't think that anybody's going to buy the game because this exists in it. But I do think as you go along and play your game, people are going to have some pretty special moments on deadline day, and at the very least are going to be more immersed in what's happening kind of in the world around it. You're also not going to forget to offer somebody a new contract, because you'll have that screen telling you that they are running out of a contract. So you need that 24/7. Like these things just need to be put into the transfer section on the left side of the game. That's what actually needs to happen. Am I right?